Laura Ray, and I'm here with the best drugstore makeup of all time. That is saying so much. I test out hundreds of products a year, and these are what I think are the best. And if you're looking to put a little makeup kit together for this year, these products would be a great place to start. They're all things that have worked for me. I'm 60 years old. I have combination skin still. It's dry in some areas like the under eye, but most of my skin, I still get a little bit of oil breakthrough. In foundation, I usually wear a light medium, but I will be telling you all the shades today. I'm going to show you swatches of the products and then, of course, show me putting them on. Let's start off with primer. I have tried so many dozens and dozens of primers. Some of them did nothing for my skin at all and were a total waste. But for me, this one is just superior. It's brand new from Milani, and it's their Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Primer. This just fills in my enlarged pores that I have in this area on the cheeks. It helps to fill in some of my fine lines and wrinkles. I feel a little bit like it's spackle. It does have a cooling feeling to it. Now, I have very sensitive skin, and this does not cause me to get a rash or break out. And as you can see, it's well loved. I'm almost done with this one, and I'll purchase another one when I'm done. But I feel like this is one of the primers I've tried that is just so worth it. Brows are so tricky for me. I've always had fine brows. I never overpluck them. They're just not thick. And so I have to do a few tricks to make them look good. I have not talked about this pen, but I've fallen in love with it very quickly. It's from NYX. It's their Lift and Snatch. I can actually draw hair in my brows that looks realistic and make my brows a little bit larger. I'm not going to try to make them huge because then it is going to look very fake, but I can put in a few extra hairs in certain areas and make them look fuller, and I really like that. Now, another product that I thought wouldn't work for me that's amazing is this brand new one from e.l.f. It is called their Brow Laminating Gel. So this, to me, gives my hair more thickness. Also, it holds it, so it's not going to move around. It keeps the product, whether I put a pencil in or the liquid in, it keeps it all in place all day. So I come home from being out doing errands with the same brows I left the house with, and that doesn't happen always if I just put a powder in it. But these two together have been such a great combination. I've tried a lot of these kind of pins that have the felt tip that draw in hair, and most of them just have been fails for me, but somehow NYX did something magical. I bought the shade Ash Brown, and that's actually sort of my real hair color, is more of an ashy brown, so it matches my brows really well. Normally I buy taupe when I buy a pencil, but it wasn't available when I bought this, and I'm really glad that I bought the Ash Brown because it actually is a really good match for my brow hair. I have talked about several foundations this year that I feel could be in this video. I wanted to feature one that is super long lasting, super affordable, and it's actually from Maybelline and called the Super Stay, but it's their 24-hour skin tint. It really covers beautifully but isn't too heavy. Striking that balance between coverage and still being thin is challenging, and I've only found a few products that do that. This one does. The packaging is a little messy. That's the one downer for this, but otherwise I think it is such an amazing product. Maybelline put different skincare ingredients in this that I feel helps with it spreading into the skin. Myself, I like to apply it with a brush. You could use a sponge, your fingers, whatever method you prefer, but I really think this one is one that I hope will stand the test of time. Again, I've tried so many bronzers. I've tried cream bronzers, powders, but most of the powders I've tried, they're too heavily pigmented, and then I have to go back and do a lot of blending. This one from L'Oreal, the Infallible 24-hour bronzer, I don't have to do that. Another thing is a lot of the bronzers come with sparkle in them, and if you like sparkle, then the world's your oyster because there are a lot out there with glitter and sparkle in them. This is matte, and I love that because I don't want every product product sparkling. If I have a little bit of sparkle in my eyes like I do today, I really don't want it in my bronzer. I purchased light medium number 300, and that really is such a great shade for me. Some women aren't fans of bronzers, and I understand that, but not only do they warm up your complexion, they are great for shaping the jawline. I like to go right around here. My skin in here is getting a little looser, and I have a little bit of a jowl there, so I will go over with the bronzer there. I like to bring it down to the neck. It also helps when I'm trying to blend my foundation with my neck. So bronzer is really an underrated product. Let's talk about eyeshadow primer. I wear it nearly every day, but I decided to give it to Milani. Milani has been so consistent with having such a great eyeshadow primer. Now, I prefer to apply it with a brush. I feel because my eyes are so deep set, if I use my fingers, sometimes I miss areas. So I prefer to take an eyeshadow brush, put some on the back of my hand, and just blend it out that way. But you can just go directly onto the eyes with your finger, and I've done that plenty of times. But this really helps the shadows to stay on. They go on more smoothly. As we get older and we have more crepiness in the eyes, it makes it harder to blend eyeshadow, but this makes the job a whole lot easier. I have a few eyeshadows I want to share with you. First off, from the drugstore, to me, the best, the greatest of all time is the Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadows. This is one of my repurchases. I've bought several times, Creme Brulee. It's such a beautiful shade. This adds some brightness to the eyes. It's a beautiful champagne type of shade. I just love it. It's got a little gold to it, so it's a warmer champagne, but it's a long time favorite. I've had every shade that they make in these. I think I've purchased them because they're just such high quality. I had to include these shadows. They are not from the drugstore, but they're on Amazon, and I purchased them for right around $3. And the name of the company is Beia. It's spelled B-B-I-A, but you pronounce it Beia. It's a very famous Korean brand that I just hadn't heard of before. I'm always researching different brands to try to find products that are top quality. These shadows are. The packaging is fairly heavy. It's not real thin, so it's durable. The shadows feel to me like high end. I just think they're amazing. I'm so happy that I found this brand. This is the shade Kidney Bean, and then I bought another shade Intelligent. I've ordered a couple more recently because normally these run a little over $8 a piece. So the $3 price point was wonderful. These blend beautifully. Now what I've done today is I've put the Revlon on so you could see it, and then I'm going in with these shades to deepen the crease, shape the eye, and give a little more variation to the look. Now e.l.f. hit a home run at the last minute here. There were so many great products that have just come out recently. There are some duds, and I've been talking about that. I always feature new products in my YouTube shorts. If you love reviews of products, I encourage you to watch those shorts because when products come out, I usually do a YouTube short about it to share my experience with the product. But e.l.f. recently came out with these shadows. Now, what do they remind me of? Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte has a pop shade in many of her palettes that she makes. It's very sheer, and it's meant to pop on top of the other shadows. Well, this feels the exact same. It's so sheer. Now, it's got glitter in it, but not glitter that you see. It's just like microfine. And the shadow itself is almost see-through. But this color here, I think, is just absolutely incredible. It's called Straight Fire. I was wearing it the other day on top of a shadow, and my husband said, "What have you done with your eyes today? They look amazing." And I was wearing this. I said, "Isn't this the coolest shadow?" It's duochrome and sheer all at the same time. I would put myself out there and say this is the best eyeshadow e.l.f. has ever created. Let's move on to eyeliner. I have been lining my eyes very close to the lashes with this liquid pen from Physicians Formula. I feel it makes my lashes stand out. I'm not really doing it for the eyeliner. I'm doing it to make the lashes pop. And I just scrub very close to the lash line line. It defines my eyes. Some days I don't use any other liner. I just want a very soft eye look, maybe just pop on some mascara. But this pen is amazing. But for eyeliner, I really recommend this one from CoverGirl. It's not new. I've had this for at least 2 or 3 years. I've been purchasing them. It's their Exhibitionist 24-hour kohl liner. I recently talked about this being so much like the one from Victoria Beckham. Now, originally who said that? My friend Melissa 55. She had the Victoria Beckham eyeliner and was such a fan. Melissa saw me talk about this pencil and thought, hey, maybe that is a good dupe. So she purchased it and she was over the moon about it. We're going to do a little test. I've put on the pencil and we're going to let it dry down for a minute or two, and I want to show you that it's not going to budge. While this is drying, let's talk about mascara. Many of you asked me to try a brown mascara. My mom used to wear brown mascara. She actually preferred it over black. Well, when I went on my little excursion looking for brown mascara, almost no brands had one, but Maybelline did, and this is their Sky High, and I think it's beautiful. If you're looking for a softer look for the eyes, a lot of women like to wear this during the day. It's not quite as strong as black mascara. Now, they make a great black. I was wearing this in black. I love the wand on this. It is a rubbery plastic wand, but I can really get into the lashes. This doesn't clump. I haven't had any trouble with flaking, smudging. It's just really a great mascara. Now let's take a look at the eyeliner from CoverGirl. It's not going anywhere. I have to take it off with my Bioderma. This is such an amazing product. I did want to mention it because I've used it in videos when I did my recent lipstick video where I tried on over 20 lipsticks. I used this on my lips in between lipsticks that were very staining. I just put a little here on my cloth and watch what I have to do to get this off. This is not easy to get off, so it is not going to come off of your eyes. Now, this is my cellar water that I'm using. I would recommend using makeup remover because this is pretty strong stuff. Over the past couple of years, I've shared with you so many times my love of the Peeper Perfect concealer from Winky Lux. It is an all-time favorite because it's so emollient. It doesn't dry my under eyes. So I still think that deserves to be in this video, but I wanted to mention something else that you actually can get in a drugstore, and this is from NYX. It's the Bear With Me concealer. This is so hydrating for the under eyes. It really is perfect for mature skin. You need just a little bit. There's the right amount of serum, pigment. It just works out. This really is fantastic. If you're looking for a concealer that's super affordable, then I highly recommend this one. I try so many concealers from Sephora, but often the look that I get is no different than the one from the drugstores. So I think you can't beat this one. Lip oils have been so popular this year. I am just loving this one from e.l.f. This is called the Glow Reviver Lip Oil, and it's in the shade Red Delicious. Now, one reason I like it is the color. There are so many lip oils that are clear. If you want clear, e.l.f. has that too, but this has such a beautiful light red to it. Now, I've fallen in love with red this year, but because they offer so many softer shades of red. And this is just perfect. It keeps my lips hydrated. It doesn't have any weird taste. It does have a peppermint scent to it, but it's not tingly. So I just really love this. If I had to pick a lip gloss, that would be really hard. I love so many glosses at the drugstore. They really have such a great selection. But I'm going to go with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. There's such a variety of shades. You can get some with sparkle, without. Today I put number 21 Gummy Bear on my lips, and I love this. It's a soft, like milky pink. This looks so beautiful over other lipstick that I already personally own. I wear it on its own sometimes because it just gives a little hint of color. But I think these glosses are so fabulous. I do have a lot of the glosses from Fenty, and I feel like this is one that comes the closest to being what we would call a dupe or an alternative. But I love this just for its own. I think Maybelline did a great job with this product. It was really tough with blush. I have so many blushes. I have cream blush, liquid blush, powder blush. I still go back to powder. I really do love powder. One blush I feel is so underrated is this one from Almay. It's in the shade So Peachy. They only came out with maybe 3 or 4 different shades in this, and every one I've tried I've loved. They have a beautiful nude and a berry. So these are beautiful. They don't look like much in the pan, but what I like about it, the powder, you almost can't feel it, and it's so buildable. I can build up a beautiful amount of product on the skin where it doesn't look clown-like. I can make it really soft. Even when I go more intense with it, it doesn't look clown-like. It's just got such a beautiful color to it. Of all the blushes I have in my collection, this is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Boy, L'Oreal did it here at the end of the year. They came out with this Lumi Le Glace, and this is such an amazing product. I have been looking for this. So many of these highlighters are too thick, too glittery, just too much. This reminds me so much of my highlighter that I love from Merit. This is incredible. I can draw right on my skin, pat it with my finger, and it's not too much. And as the day goes on, it just blends in with my skin and gives a really healthy look. Now, I'm in the shade 610. It's called Glassy Pearl, and they have other shades in this I'm thinking of purchasing because I'm so impressed with this one. But this is my perfect color I was looking for because it just really does have a little bit of warmth to it. I have neutral toned skin, but I tend to look better in warmer shades. This does have a warmth to it. I am just so impressed with this. This is one of my all-time favorite products from L'Oreal. I'm not such a fan of a lot of the powders at the drugstore. Some that I see get really good reviews look too heavy on my skin. Most of the powders I've ended up liking are more high-end powders. However, I found one at Ulta that's a drugstore price that I think is really fantastic, and it's from Morphe. This is their mini bake set. These come as a little set, which is perfect because I use so little powder. I like having a smaller amount so I can get through it before it expires. And I find that powders really do expire. After a while, they just don't work great. Other products like eyeshadows and blushes tend to last longer, but I find that powder doesn't work that well after its expiration date. What I like to do is just put a little in the cap, take one of my puffs here, go into the powder, and then even roll it on the back of my hand to get off excess. This is perfect for my nose, my under eyes, my chin, and I even go into some of my fine lines and wrinkles, and it helps keep the makeup in place. It helps to blur out things that I want to blur. So I really love this powder from Morphe. It is a drugstore price, so I wanted to include it in this video, even though you don't find it at a drugstore. They have it at Ulta. My goodness, this year there have been so many of these click-up pins twisting at the bottom. They're awesome if you like a glossy lip. This is a combination of lipstick and gloss all wrapped up in one. When these came out from NYX, I was amazed at how much I loved them. Now, the shade I'm using today is called No Filter Needed. I actually went back and bought another one. I rarely do that because I have so much makeup I'm testing out. But the formula of this was so incredible. I like to also add a little lip liner, and I think the greatest lip liner of all time are these Maybelline lifter liners. They are just incredible. Now, I wanted to mention, I'll link this. This is the most fantastic sharpener I've ever owned. I bought so many because so many makeup pencils do need sharpened. This is made of metal, and it does such such a better job than any of the plastic ones I've purchased. It has an opening for a larger pencil and then for the size of eyeliners and lip liners. And I just take my Maybelline lifter liner like this, and look at how great it sharpens. Very smooth, and then you get a nice point to your pencil. So I will link that down below, but I love the lifter liners. They come in so many different shades. I will take this pencil when I'm using this type of stick to give my lips more shape. As we age, sometimes the shape of our lips is not quite as obvious anymore. So a pencil can really help. I have so many lipsticks from the drugstore that I love. I test lots of lipsticks, but if I had to pick only one for the rest of my life, then it definitely goes to Revlon. I just am obsessed with Revlon lipstick. It looks so beautiful on the lips. I think it's as good as most of the ones that I've tried from Sephora. The shade I'm wearing today is 674 Coral Berry. I have really been into the corals. I've been trying to stretch my horizons a little bit. I've been trying some new shades to see how they will look on my skin. I never used to like this shade, but it's just so beautiful. I think it really brightens me up a little bit. And even in the winter time, maybe more than ever, we need that little bit of brightness. I used to always wear dark shades in the winter, but sometimes I get a little tired of it and I want something a little brighter, maybe a little happier feeling. And this lipstick is definitely it. I'm not really a huge setting spray person. I mainly use it for special events. During the daytime when I'm at home, I don't apply a setting spray. But if you're looking for one that's going to make your makeup last, this one from e.l.f., their new Power Grip, really works. I prefer to spray it into a brush. I will take a clean makeup brush, spray it in, and dab it where I need it. Another tip I would like to give you, if you don't like wearing powder in the under eye, you can use setting spray in place of it to keep your concealer intact all day. So you could take a little brush, spray into it, and then just pat in the under eye. I've done that before, and that really works great, especially if my eyes are looking dry. I don't always want powder in the under eyes. So setting spray can be really helpful. One thing I wanted to mention is that I buy a lot of my drugstore makeup on Amazon because I get a lot better price. There are times I've walked into the drugstore and seen that a lipstick like Revlon was $5, maybe $6 more than what I would pay for on Amazon. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you for shopping my links and supporting my channel. I do get a small commission when you purchase from my links, and that helps to keep my channel going. I hope you have such a beautiful week. Share your favorite product of all time down below. I always look forward to hearing from you. I love you all so much. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you soon.